So in here we got a fascinating article from NASA, and this dives in detail concerning the secrets, according to the title here, of one of the most distant galaxies ever seen. And when you look at how this information was derived, this came in collaboration with two different groups here in terms of how they're able to use the near infrared spectrum and the near infrared camera to arrive at this particular result here. And this particular region, when you look at our galaxy or our universe, which is around, of course, 13 point, according to this article, 13.8 billion years old, we can actually look at a much more distant period where there is a specific galaxy that is, in this case, around 430 million years after the Big Bang. And this particular region here, according to this article here, says that it is designated the GN-z11, and there is something really special about this particular galaxy. This galaxy, according to this article, really shows the presence of a vigorous and luminous black hole, and this supermassive black hole shows how incredible its power is based on how it is accumulating matter, and most importantly, what type of matter allows this particular research group to be able to come to this particular conclusion that it is indeed a black hole. And they said that they found extremely dense gas that is common in the vicinity of supermassive black holes that is accumulating gases, and this is really one of the big clues that allow them to come up with this particular conclusion. And so this here, if you look further in terms of some of the other interesting features about this particular black hole, you can see that it says that using the web, the team also found indications of ionized chemical elements that is typically observed near accumulating supermassive black holes. Now, this in addition, they discovered a very powerful wind being expelled by the galaxy. Now, such high velocity winds are typically driven by processes associated with vigorously accumulating supermassive black holes. Now, looking at the near infrared camera based on this particular image as shown here, it actually reveals some other interesting data in respect to how much solar mass this particular galaxy contains, and it says that it holds around a 2 million solar mass, which is really massive in terms of how active this particular black hole has to offer. And most importantly, the interesting feature, which is really luminous. And now that is one of the things to keep in mind about this particular article. Now, there is another thing that this article highlights, which is a pristine gas clump that is noticed around the region of this particular black hole. And this here was led by the second team, and the second team here actually used the near infrared spectrograph to be able to find more gas clumps that is what type of element? Helium. And this here is really fascinating because it is one of those concepts that scientists are trying to prove, which is the presence of never seen population 3 stars. And this here, in terms of what population 3 stars are, according to this article, it says that it is the first generation of stars formed almost entirely from hydrogen and helium. And this here, according to modern astrophysicists, their goal here is to be able to find such stars, and it's going to be interesting to see the characteristics of this star according to this particular article, which here says that these stars are anticipated to be very massive, very luminous, and very hot. So it's going to be interesting to see how the GN-z11 is going to be able to have more data coming out of it in terms of how hot it is. I mean, it says here 2 million solar mass, so we can actually give a rough estimate as to the temperature, which in terms of what other brackets of stars this might actually lay on. Will it lie more in the really hot, medium, or cool stars. So really interesting to say that. And one of those interesting conclusions based on this article is the type of, in this case, pristine gas, which in this case is a kind of a candidate for a population 3 star, which is, in this case, it shows presence of helium. So what type of reaction, in this case nuclear fission or fusion, will arrive at this particular helium generation, or will it be coming from hydrogen? And so all these questions are yet to be answered here. Now, in terms of what they expect, according to this analyst here, the signals should show the presence of ionized helium and the absence of chemical elements that are heavier than helium. So this here is the graphics of what this particular pristine gas clump that is located in this particular region shows. And when you zoom in closely here in this particular space here, we have this particular zoom in here that shows us the image. And then when you look closely at the helium 2 detection, it shows here these particular regions here, which is similar to this particular space of region which has helium 2 in this halo, and also potentially around this particular GN-z11, but in this case here is more pronounced in this particular region here, which is close to this particular galaxy that contains the supermassive black hole. And when you look closely at the spectroscopy result here, which shows relationship between the relative brightness to the wavelength of light, there is a red here that highlights the high spike, which shows the presence of helium 2 here. And so this is one of the things to keep in mind in terms of the result. Now, in terms of the future, according to this article, it says that the team is going to be exploring more of the GN-z11 in greater depth, and they hope to strengthen the case for the population 3 stars that may be forming in its halo. So really incredible stuff here. There are a couple of interesting articles if you want to read more about it that you can check out. They are all in the description below. And also we were looking at the image from Hubble Space Telescope about this particular region here. We can see closely how it looked like based on the Hubble's view, and this here is quite, of course, different, but it's pretty impressive that this year, according to the release date, it says that it was released sometime this time 2016, and that's pretty impressive to see this result here. A couple of interesting facts here, pretty cool stuff here. So please go into the comment section and let me know your thought about this particular result here from James Webb Telescope concerning this particular never seen image of a really distant galaxy with a supermassive black hole, and maybe the reason why you think it might be a population 3 star, and why do you think it might not be worthy of getting that particular title of population 3 star, or maybe this might be a proof that it is a or not a population 3 star. Hope to see you on the next one. Stay smart as always and believe in yourself.